Okay, so there's the formula. The book has something like this. Okay, N is the number of people you talk to. K is going to be your the number of successes, so that's going to change depending on where on this chart you are. Okay, so P in here is the probability of success is 0.25. And Q is the probability of failure. There's only success and failure. Okay, so you know if somebody tells you the probability of success, you know the probability of failure because there's only two choices. It's either success or failure. And if 25% of the time is success, 75% of the time is a failure. If probability of success had been 0.2, then Q would be 0.8. If probability of success had been 0.1, Q would be 0.9. Together, they always just add up to 100% because 100% is all successes and all failures. Okay, so that's where they got that. All right, now this formula is a bit clunky, even with my calculator. I just told you that's where I got this, but I lied. Okay, if I go, I've already pre-programmed the whole formula into my calculator. I don't even need that. If I go binompdf n comma p comma k. Okay. So if I want the first number, I would go binom pdf n. N is the number of, they call it the number of trials. I'm going to try 6 bushes in front of my house. It's the big number. P is always the decimal, 0.25. And then k is the little number. So I need to get out my calculator. My calculator has the formula in it. I just got to get out my calculator. All right. And it is not under the word stat, oddly enough. It is under the word distribution, which is the second function right above vars. So I have to hit second, distribution. And then I see all sorts of things. Normal PDF, normal CDF, invnorm. Okay, it's like the 0th choice is right after the 9th choice. Binom PDF, make sure to go with P because P stands for probability distribution function, and don't go with the one under it which says binom CDF. That's not the one we want. We want PDF. So if I go into distribution and then I go down and I select binom PDF. Okay. And now mine immediately goes to me having to put the rest in. My calculator just says that. Okay, but some people's calculator starts asking them questions. It starts asking, hey, how many trials? That's the same thing as what is N. Then it says, what's the probability of success? Then that's where P goes. And then whichever number you're trying, that's where that goes. Okay, so if yours comes out and asks you questions, it asks you the questions in this order, and you just answer them. Unfortunately, mine doesn't, and I know what I want. I want 6 trials, so I put in 6, and then I put in a comma. Okay, you got to put commas. If you don't, it'll look like 6.25. Your calculator won't know what that is. Comma is its own special little button right here. It's above the 7. It's the next button up, is comma. I got to put that in. 0.25, comma, and then 0. And then if I hit enter, okay. Oh, I forgot to put the comma. Six, comma, 0.25, comma, 0. Then if I hit enter, it says this 0.17797. That number that I gave you right when I did like 0.75 to the 6th power. That's what that number is. It's this number again. Okay. And then after that, I can do binom PDF 6, 0.25, 1 and get this number and so on down the line. Okay, so it's way easier than calling up Home Depot, because you know that's not going to happen. Okay, it's easier than me reasoning it through where I wrote all those parentheses. It's easier than following the formula in the book. Is just get out that binom PDF button and use that. So that's what I did, except it's not. I found something even easier. Okay, if back here, I got into my calculator. I went into distribution. Okay, I went into distribution and I went down to binompdf and I hit that. And now either yours is asking you questions or it's not, and you've just got parentheses like that. And I go, oh yeah, okay, I'll answer the first question is 6, and I'll put my comma. And then I answer the second question is 0.25. And then I go, oh, gosh, I don't even need this comma. I gotta do each one separately. This is too hard. I'm just going to hit enter right now. Okay, now ordinarily if you do something like that on a calculator, it goes, you didn't even fill it in properly. Okay, so if you don't even fill in the number of successes you're having this time, okay, or you don't put something after like in the third spot after that comma, instead of your calculator going, I'm not doing that, your calculator actually starts to give you the answer. You see 0.177, and then over here you see 0.3 with this little dot, 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 and, oh, they don't even close out the set notation. Okay, they don't put any commas in between them or anything, but what it is your calculator just gave you the answer to the first one, and it started to give you the answer to the second one, which is right there, but I can't see all of it because it disappeared off the edge of my screen. But if I go over here with these like DVR type arrow keys, as long as you haven't gone somewhere else, if you go bounce your checkbook or something, you forget it, you can't come back. But if you've just this second hit that and you want to see more of it, just start using your arrow key to arrow sideways, and it starts to show me 0.355957. And then keep arrowing 0.29663. Okay, keep arrowing. 0.1318, that's why I got that. 0.0329, that'd be that one. 0.00439, that's that one. Keep going. And then it says 2.44, and if I'm in a super hurry and I don't keep arrowing sideways, I'm like, okay, I'll just write that in that blank and that'll be it. If you keep arrowing sideways, eventually it says E-4. Okay, that's super important. That means it's in scientific notation. That means move the decimal 4 places, which is how I got 0.000244 and so on. So you need to pay attention, especially when it comes out to be a number bigger than 1. Remember, these are probabilities. There's no chance of a probability being 2.44 because probabilities are never bigger than 1. If it's starting to look like a number that's bigger than 1, keep arrowing. There'll be an E over there. Okay.